And we're live. Well, hello, hello, everyone. Everyone that's here. it's Saturday. Yep, I decided I'm going to sit down and do another show, and so here I am. All right, so. On today's SaturDave's, I got a few things I'm going to share with you guys. I'll give you guys a little bit of an update. We're in the home stretch of Housegate. The moving day is coming up at the end of September 22nd, and we're just looking forward to that. And we're in the home stretch of selling this place, which we have a sales contract or whatever you call it, and there's still a few more things we need to do. Just some stuff we learned from the inspection. Namely, we have to have the sewer hooked up. So it's the last hurdle. We have one last hurdle. But today we're going to talk about some things because I got some cool books. Some I bought, some I got from a good friend of mine who, just had some books that she was no longer using. And, the whiz really won't pass over a good book. So I'm dinging. I want to, we'll talk about some candle magic later on in the show. We're going to talk about some kitchen wizardry later on in the show, and we're going to talk about some spooky stuff as we start planning. I know it's not here yet, but Samhain's coming. I'm looking forward to it. You know what it is? Because we will be fully set up in the new house come October. October is probably going to be the month that we get completely set. And we're going to be I don't know. I'm just looking forward. Let's say hi around the room. Hi Dory. Hi Nancy. Hi Earthy Taurus. I'm sure a few. And then once we get moved in, hopefully, I'm thinking we'll start doing more of these things regularly. But anyways, let's kick off a Saturday, shall we? Yay. Okay, so let's go back. Let's welcome some folks. I see 6 people in there, but no one else is posting. So I don't know who's here yet. Say hi. If you're in, just type in the chat hi so I can call you out and say hi to you. So anyways, I was sitting here watching. This will be a little tech corner. I was sitting here watching some YouTube myself, getting ready to do this live, and I was watching a video, and I want to share something with you that's very, as a tech guy and guy that works in tech, that is very interesting and very, kind of something that I've known of, and I just want to kind of share it with you. And this is going to be for those of you with a later model iPhone with iOS version 14. As you may know, or as I'm going to tell you, a lot of applications really kind of track a lot of info about you in the background, unbeknownst to you really knowing it. Facebook and Instagram are two big examples of that. You know, if you're ever scrolling along Facebook and it's funny because during this house whatever conundrum, not conundrum project, you say. You know, there's some different things you're looking into, like appliances and stuff like that. You know, and I'll go into the Home Depot app and I'll be looking at washers and dryers and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, I'm on Facebook and there's ads for washers and dryers. And I'm Instagram, there's ads for washers and dryers. Or another thing we were looking at, because Lucia and I, we ended up getting the 9-bot segways. We use them for our camping trips, you know, to just take quick runs to the camp store instead of just bringing the whole car out, you know. But, you know, we bought a couple, and all of a sudden the ads on Facebook and Instagram and other are like, Segway this, Segway that. And what happens is, while you're using, or while the app is installed on your phone, it actually can track and communicate and track what you're doing in all the other apps. It's really intrusive. Well, Apple being Apple, love or hate Apple for, you know, who or what they are, you know, they kind of don't like this. They've always had a hard stance on security. So I figured I'd want to just do a little tech corner and just kind of show you this. If you guys have iOS 14, you want to go to your settings and you want to kind of scroll all the way down, or what you can do is up here in this top part where it says search, type in privacy, and you want to get to the blue hand, the one that says privacy. You want to go in there, and on the top, you're going to see where it says tracking. Can you guys see that? Click on tracking, and you're going to have that little switch up the top. I really wish it would show up better with the light. Let's experiment with this. Let's turn this thing off. Where the hell's the switch? I have the light hit. Biggest lamp with the littlest switch. See if it shows up. Well, you'll see it when you go in there. It'll be a little switch that by default is off. You want to turn that on so it kind of looks green. And what happens is, I have a screenshot of what this will get you when you open up a particular app that is tracking you. And my example here is Instagram. You'll get this pop-up, and you can ask the app not to track you. It's still going to track what's inside the app and what you do in the app, but it won't be able to talk to the other apps. You know, do that kind of shady behind the scenes, you know, creepy, sneaky tracking that they do. So I wanted to share that with you guys because you know, it's kind of like, I mean, we know that these apps do that, but now we have a little weapon, if you could, to kind of protect ourselves from some of this stuff. Let's go back. I see more people coming in. Good morning, Earthy. The Witch of the Meadows. Good morning, Leanne. Good morning. How are you guys getting? Look at that. Oh, I love it. You guys are the best. And this is kind of how you get it. Basically, that's the instructions right there. It's just a good thing to do, just to kind of protect your privacy and stuff like that. And there's a lot of other features to it. It actually will track and let you know every time an app tries to do it or accesses your camera roll. Put it in your how-to playlist. Because here's the thing that, so I have nothing to hide. If they want to, track what I'm browsing for on the internet, go right ahead. But here's the thing where I kind of draw the line. I don't know if many of you guys know this, but any photo or anything you post on Facebook, if you read the terms of service, as soon as it's posted on Facebook, Facebook technically owns that photo. So I'm a little, I will post some photos on Facebook, but some of my, other photos that either maybe I take with my Canon camera and stuff like that, I won't post on Facebook, because once you post it, you lose the rights to it. And I don't know how that goes to Facebook actually accessing your camera roll on your phone without you even knowing it. I mean, you just don't know. It could be pulling stuff out without you knowing it, and all of a sudden, those those photos of your kids are, being, shared across the internet behind your back. So just good to be a little bit careful with stuff like that. I'm experimenting with a new format for SaturDave's, because SaturDave's, it's always been kind of loosey-goosey and just kind of a little less focused as opposed to like Wednesday night readings and stuff like that. I want to start sharing some more tips and tricks and how-tos and stuff like that. Share some of the, and not just tech stuff, just some other good stuff that I come across. And a lot of these cool books that I got are just really, really a cool contributing to that. In this next section, in the kitchen, so I'm looking at this book, and we'll have a question, if you guys have it, but we'll have a chit and chat section at the end of the show. But I'm looking at this book here. This is Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Wicca in the Kitchen. So I'm big in, I love cooking. I love spending time in the kitchen. And I've been recently looking at food in the terms of practicing food magic. And I'll read a little bit of an excerpt from this book. This is a really good book. I recommend getting it. I'll show the cover one more time. It's Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Wicca in the Kitchen. Okay, so I'm going to read a quick excerpt from this, and it's just chapter 6, the practice of food magic. As with any art, food magic should be practiced according to a few basic principles. My system of food magic, however, isn't rigid. It can be altered to fit your own lifestyle and changed for various occasions. Example, eating in restaurants, eating with others, eating while camping, and so on. Following the basic structure presented here will produce maximum results. Well, we'll see. Though some of this material may seem to repeat parts of chapter 2, well, we don't care because we didn't read chapter 2. It is of such importance that I felt it deserved its own section. All right, we'll skip a little. Decide what you wish to change about yourself. This could be a minor problem, such as temporary depression, whose magical treatment can vary from meal to meal, if you need. However, to make more important change, you should probably put yourself on a magical diet. And there's a whole section of magical diets in there. So a lot of what's in here is just kind of the magical properties of some foods. So we'll let me skip forward. Here is, did I not bookmark it? Or did I lose my bookmark? Oh. All right, here we go. Type of vegetables and, some of their magical properties. Like in here it says, like the artichoke. I don't know how many of you like artichoke, but it's been presented by the planet Mars, the element fire, and it has protective energies. And there's a little bit of lore that accompanies this. So some of the lore about the artichoke is Greek legend states that the first artichoke was originally a beautiful woman. Hold on, I need to take a swig. I need some magical drinkage. Sorry about that. But yeah, the first artichoke was a beautiful woman. Some angry god, frankly, I don't know which. This is how it's written in the book. Was so jealous of her beauty that he transformed her into an artichoke. The artichoke seems to have originated in the Mediterranean region and in the Canary Islands. This vegetable was enjoyed in ancient Rome as a luxury food. The Romans preserved it in brine or vinegar, much as we do as we, will put artichoke hearts in oil, kind of like pickled. And some magical uses. The artichoke is certainly delicious because it is a member of the thistle family, and due to its flowers' sharp points, the artichoke is eaten as part of protective diets. Flavor with garlic or bay leaves, for additional protective energy. And that's a basic recipe of like an artichoke protective dish. Because if you think about it, garlic again is a very protective, spice, whatever you want to call it. And you think of like in terms of vampires and stuff like that, and it's like, hey, a protection for even my grandparents and great grandparents in the Italian culture, they used to put garlic cloves in the window to ward off evil spirits. And my grandparents, they were Christian, they were Catholic, but that was done. And another thing for me is bay leaves. So one of the pagan gods that I relate to is Apollo, and bay leaf is one of his one of his things. So another one is asparagus. Again, that's represented by the planet Mars, the element fire. The energies is sex. We'll have to read into this. Okay. Comments. Am I forgetting to wear my hat? We're still in everything is packed mode, so I don't have a hat to wear. I mean, I have a cap. It's not very wizardry, but yeah. Well, let me get it. Let me get it because why not? I have this hat, so let's see what I got here. I sit on my head. I call this my. Hold on, it's not on. It's not on right. I don't want to lose my page of the book. I put it on upside down. Come on. This is like my oh God, what's his name in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? I'm drawing a blank, but it's not Coulson. Oh, who's the guy with the eye patch in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? I don't remember. Anyways, but I'll wear this hat. Once we get to the new house, the wizard hat will make its reappearance. Promise. Let's see. Cat's witchy bits. My Catholic granny always had garlic and peppers hanging by the door. It's so funny how they are doing witchcraft and don't even know it sometimes. Absolutely. Oh, come on. How many Catholics out there? And I remember this as, from my Catholic days. Now I'm, my Christian side is more United Church of Christ because it's much more progressive. But how many times in Catholic ritual were they using incense? They have that thing they used to swing, and it's all part of the ceremony. It's all semantics when it comes down to it. And this is how, I, as a wizard, can identify as Christo-pagan, because I believe in all the gods, but also it's semantics. I do a lot of candle magic, and we'll talk about some candle magic because that's coming up in the show too. We'll look at a quick candle spell. But I do a lot of candle magic. Well, Catholics, Christians, they light a lot of candles. How about that? You know, even in my United Church of Christ church that I volunteer at, they have the candles at the back of the church where they do the whole portion where you pray for, a person's healing or whatever, and you can opt to go and say a little prayer and light the candle, prayer candles. That's the same thing as sitting at your home altar and lighting a candle. Different spells do different things, but it's all semantic, and it's practicing witchcraft without saying you're practicing witchcraft. It's oh, you haven't watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so I'm a big Marvel fan. Yeah, I love everything Marvel. And yeah, it's Catholics are big in the candle work. Nick Fury, that's it. Nick Fury. He usually wears like a hat like this, and I have the eye patch on. Nick Fury. Yeah. Colonel Nicholas Joseph Nick Fury. That's the eye patch guy. I love it. I love it when we have an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. fan in here. But anyways, yeah, so this is a really good book. So asparagus, magical uses for asparagus. As you prepare the asparagus to be cooked or steamed, visualize yourself enjoying sex and eat with power. Okay, that's interesting. I want to skip a little bit before we move on to the next thing. We're going to talk about some fruit properties. Let's see what we have for fruit. Apple. Everyone knows what an apple is, right? Apple a day keeps the doctor away. Well, let's see what the magical. This is quite a bit. So the apple, associated with the planet Venus, the element is water, and the energies are love, health, and peace. So let's look at some of the law. This is pretty lengthy, but let's read through it. The people who inhabited the prehistoric lake dwellings of Switzerland enjoyed apples, as shown by apple remains found there. So they date back to even prehistoric days. Apples may have been eaten as long ago as the Paleolithic era. I'm not even sure what that is, but it's way in the past. They were a valued food in ancient Egypt. Ramses III offered 848 baskets of apples to Hapi, the Egyptian god of the Nile. Among the Norse, Iduna safeguarded a store of apples. When eaten, the apples gave the gift of perpetual youth to the goddess and gods. It is said that certain Norse priests were forbidden to eat apples due to the fruit's legendary lustful properties. Apples are still offered to Chango among the Yoruba. Not sure if I'm saying that right. Apple trees once grew around the sacred island of Avalon in England, and apples were intimately linked with spirituality in the British Isles. At one time, apples were also rubbed before they were eaten to remove all the demons or evil spirits that were thought to reside within them. Even the smell of fresh apples was thought to bestow longevity and restore flagging physical strength. So, oh, you're welcome, Leanne, for the no tracking thing. Yeah, I like I said, I stumbled across that with the recent update of iOS 14 on my iPhone, and yeah, you're welcome. It's just we got to look out for each other. You know what I'm saying? So some magical uses of apples. Love, simply eat a fresh apple. Carve a heart into the skin before devouring it. Drink apple cider. Bake an apple pie flavored with cinnamon, ginger, and sugar. Share an apple with a lover. For health, magical health, place a glass of apple cider between your palms. Visualize health and healing energies flowing into it between your hands. Visualize your body's natural healing ability gaining in strength. See yourself as being healed. Then drink the cider or cut the apple into 3 parts with a sharp knife by visualizing, and eat the 3 parts. And peace, add applesauce, apple cake, apple dumplings, or some other cooked apple forms of apple to your diet. The healing part of apple, like I will drink apple cider, and here's my weird visualization. How many of you guys played like games like The Legend of Zelda, right? Where you're the little guy Link and you're going through, oh, hi, October. And you're going through the dungeons and you're killing things and the enemies are hitting and your little heart thing goes down. Doot, doot, doot. So you get to the point where it's beeping, beep, 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 right? And then you bring out the potion and you drink it. And a lot of games are like this, and you drink it, and it heals you up. That's kind of how I visualize whenever I'm drinking anything with healing properties, like some apple cider. I feel it refreshing and healing throughout my body. So anyways, that's a couple of cool things, and we'll further in future, in upcoming episodes of SaturDave, we'll dig deeper into some more of these cool things in this book. And October October recognizes this book because that's who I got it from. Okay. So there's some cool stuff about that. Let's go flip through the columns. The comments. Let's see what we have here. I love Zelda. That's my analogy. It's like, I'm drinking like, I think the red potion. I think it's one of them. There's a red and blue potion. I forgot which one does which. You just drink it. Or if you find a little fairy lake, you go over there and you get refilled. Miss my gaming. But smileys. True. Because spinach is another one. And I should look in this book to see what there is for spinach. Let me see if I can find spinach. Because now, you got me, let's see, vegetables. Give me a sec. Because there's a lot in here. And I want to see, they got it alphabetical. So let's see if we got spinach in here. Lettuce. We got the O's, LMNOP, PPP. QR. Getting there, let's see. So I see spinach. Okay. Let's talk about spinach. Spinach, associated with the planet Jupiter, element Earth, energy is money. Okay. All right, so it don't make you strong, but it'll make you rich. I'm fine with that. Lord, in the United States, spinach is remembered as the favorite food of a popular cartoon character upon whom it magically bestowed great physical strength. This green, leafy vegetable seems to have been introduced from Persia to Europe in the 15th century. It was soon used on fasting days. And magical uses. Steam spinach and eat it as part of a prosperity diet. Flavor with sesame seeds or nutmeg for added power for prosperity. Interesting. So isn't it interesting that we can take spells and incorporate it into food? I think that's really, really, really a cool aspect that I'm getting from this book. And you can actually have magical diets. And who knows, might get rid of some of the magical belly. Right. Kat says, "Oh my God, I swear I heard Popeye when I was reading your comments." Here's a little tidbit. I remember as a kid, I don't remember where we were shopping, but they actually had Popeye branded spinach. And I would yell and scream and make my parents get that brand because I wanted to be Popeye and get strong. To be a kid again. Anyways, fun stuff. Okay. All right. So a tidbit for today. I want to talk a little bit, like we already touched in a little bit on some candle magic. This is another book. I believe I got this also from October. It is Practical, hold it steady, Practical Candle Burning Rituals by Raymond Buckland. I do a lot of candle magic, and I came across one in here that I thought was really interesting. And it has to do with dreams. I'm going to try to show you this because it actually shows you how you set up your altar, right? If you take a quick peek at that, and you guys can go back and watch this video and pause it on here when you go to try to do this yourself. Like I said, I wish I had all my technical stuff and I could do multiple camera angles. But this is kind of what you would need. You need 2 altar candles. And they say a figure. The figure, it says a figure. You want a blue and a white candle, an orange candle, and a petitioner. So this is how we do it. Like I said, I'd like to I might eventually, once I get into the new space, do this ritual as part of a dream episode. So this is kind of what it says. To cause dreams, light your 2 altar candles. Light altar candles 1 and 2. And you also need a day candle. So let's look at the candles here. I always try to do this. So you're going to have altar 1, altar candle 2. You'll have a blue candle and a white candle, orange candle, and you have a day candle. Right, amongst other stuff, that, like it says, a book. I'm assuming this is a book to write down what your dream is. Petitioner, and we'll find out what that is. And the figure sensor. So let's see what it says. Light altar candles 1 and 2. Light your day candle. And it says light some incense, which is always good. A little incense. I always like some sage or something while I'm doing, especially dream stuff. So you're going to light the petitioner candle, and you're going to say this. Here is, the name, comma, subject of this rite. So I think what that is you're going to petition what you want to dream about. So here is, dream about flying. So here is dream about flying, the subject of this rite, or whatever you want to. Maybe you want some divination, but you'll put that in there. So then you're going to light the blue candle and say, here born tranquility and patience, necessary for the accomplishment of the desire. And you're going to light the orange candle, and you're going to say, here is the attraction of that desire, that she may dream the dreams, he may dream the dreams he would wish, and see the experience all that he wills. Light the white candle and say, for truth in all that he sees, or he or she sees, is this flame lit. Close your eyes for a moment and see the petitioner or yourself. In this case, the way I would be doing it, I'm doing this for myself. Close your eyes for a moment and see yourself completely surrounded and enveloped in white light. After a few minutes of this, open your eyes again and say, whence comes the wind that blows softly through the trees, and whither doth it go? Yet in its gentle passing do we not feel its soft velvet touch upon our cheek? Like the flutter of the butterfly's wings, now sensed, now lost. For all its reality we cannot reach out in touch. And grasp the wind. It is there, yet it is not. How real, too, is our sense of sight. When we see in dreams the ones we love, again we see them and talk with them and walk and love again. And there's more. Yet are they there? Will they come when we call? Can we see and do what we will? Yes, and yes again, 'tis true. All that which we desire to see, to experience in our dreams, is ours for the asking. Will, and it shall come. Ask, and it shall be given. Know that power is within us, and all that we desire shall be ours. Then, once you're done saying that, sit quietly for a few moments before extinguishing the candles. This ritual should be performed at night, right before going to bed, when dreams are desired. So it's kind of an example of kind of what's in this book. And let me put this up again. And we'll actually do. I wanted to actually do this, but I don't have the candles because everything's packed away. But candle burning rituals. There's a lot of them in here. There's one for fear, conquering fear. They're more complex rituals than simple, quick single candle rituals, which I do those as well. And actually, most of my stuff was pretty single candle magic, but there's some really good stuff in here. Really cool. And I have another book to show. I haven't read much in here. But it's The Magical Household. And who wrote this? I can't pronounce that. Out of respect for my tongue, it's that person. Another cool book, but I haven't gotten in there. Oh, no, yeah, this was written, Scott Cunningham and David Harrington. So a lot of Cunningham stuff. Who did the candle one? Oh, this was Raymond Ruckland. Cunningham did the Kitchen Witch one. But, and yeah, I love it. This is the book, Practical Candle Burning Rituals by Raymond Buckland. That is right there. Got to run for a bit. I'll be back if you're still on. If not, have a beautiful day. Okay, Kat, thank you for stopping by. And you have yourself a great Saturday. Okay. So, one more thing we want to talk about is some spooky stuff. So I had mentioned at the start of the show that, with the way everything's timing for us, for Lucian and I, the next thing that I'm looking forward to, the big Sabbath, if you would, is Samhain, is Halloween. Because once we get to October 31st, in October, we'll be moved into the new place, hopefully set up, hopefully back on a regimen of doing lives, on a regular basis. And one of the things that I'm fascinated with, this is another book, and I'll show you what this book is, but what I encourage folks to do is go to like your local, I bought this from Barnes and Nobles, and of course I'm in Rhode Island, but it's, Rhode Island's Spooky Ghost and Creepy Legends. It's written by Katie Boyd. Not sure who she is, but I have a fascination with not only all things spooky, but the local legends and stuff. And what I encourage you guys to do, and again, please excuse the bad lighting, is look up some of those spooky stories from your local area, because it's great to explore some of these things, especially during Halloween. Let me see what I was reading, because I was reading through this, and this covers a lot of good, of the local stuff. So I'll share with you this is one of the bigger local legends, if you would, and that is Mercy Brown. Now, some of you guys, I don't know, there might be a couple of you here that live. I know October. I know October is local. She's very good. Her and her husband are very good friends of ours. October and Jeff, and we plan on doing some of this stuff. But I'm gonna just let's dig in a little bit to this one legend, and it's actually called the Vampire's Grave. So Mercy Brown is Rhode Island's most famous vampire. She was 19 years old when she died, and yet her community was in such fear of her that to this day they only speak of Mercy in a hushed whisper. Well, not me, but as if by uttering her name, they will summon her back. There are still so many stories regarding her death and the events that followed that it was hard to sift through all the legend and get to the possible truth of it all. However, I'm never one to take things at face value. As I dug deeper into the mystery that is Mercy Brown, a sad and moving story came to light and shed a different perspective on the suffering of this poor young woman. A curse of bad luck plagued the Brown family in the 1800s. Sickness devastated the community, and the Browns had gotten the worst of it. George Brown, the patriarch of the family and husband to Mary Brown, watched helplessly as his wife died. At the time, there was no name for her disease and no medication that gave any relief or hope of cure for her symptoms. Mary died in 1863 at what we would consider the young age of 36, after bearing her husband 3 children: Mary Olive, the eldest, Edwin, the only son, and Mercy. George, heartbroken over the loss of his wife, continued to provide for his family. Unfortunately, within a year of her mother's death, Mary Olive followed suit, suffering from the same illness. She passed away in 1884 at the tender age of 20. Having lost his wife and eldest daughter, George tried to take solace in the 2 children still left for a while. Things began to get better. Life returned to normal. No one thought about the sickness that had plagued the family for 2 years. But then it happened again. But this time the victim was not a woman. It was George's only son, Edwin. He showed the same symptoms as his mother and sister who passed before him. Edwin was a strong soul, though. He continued to hang on to fight the unseen enemy that had killed his family members. Not soon after Edwin began showing symptoms, his sister Mercy did as well. With no hope for a cure and no end to the children's suffering, all George could do was pray for their health and end to their torment. In the cold, desolate winter of 1892, George's prayer was answered. Mercy was released from her shell of flesh and bone, freed from the disease that had killed her mother and sister. She passed on. Edwin still clung to life, and that is what started the whispers. Unfortunately, due to the cold weather, they were not able to bury Mercy right away. So she had died in the winter. So they placed her body in a holding crypt until winter released its chokehold on Rhode Island. George at this point had lost everything he held dear. His wife, his 2 daughters died of this mysterious disease, and his only son was fading away each day while all he could do was look on. Filled with hopelessness, but needing to do everything in his power to save his son, George called upon Dr. Harold Metcalf. The doctor suggested exhuming the bodies of George's wife and daughter so that he could further study the disease and possibly find a cure. George, desperate for the help, finally, feeling hopeful with Dr. Metcalf's determination, agreed to the idea. In 1892, the same year that poor Mercy had passed, the doctor exhumed the body of George's wife, Mary, and the firstborn daughter, Mary Olive. Each body was just as expected, decomposing in a normal fashion. And all that laid inside the coffin after being in the ground for 30 years was bones and dust. Seeing nothing that would help to identify the disease, Dr. Metcalf requested to see Mercy's body, which remained in the crypt, wasn't buried yet. They walked with the doctor to the back of the cemetery where, built into the hillside, was a stone holding space with a wooden door. Opening the door, they peered inside. A plain pine coffin laid there, nothing special. They pried open the coffin that only 2 months earlier the family buried Mercy in. What they saw burned into their memories for the rest of their natural life. They stared down at the body in terror. Dr. Metcalf had expected some sort of decomposition, but there was none at all. So that's basically how it starts. And it goes on to talk more about that. But basically, Mercy was in this coffin in this crypt, and she didn't decompose at all. So now that, to paraphrase, now that started, and you got to think back in the 1800s when this area was, it was early settlers, there was a lot of superstition. So with the body not decomposing, they're like, whoa, she's a vampire. And, they went on to, they did some really interesting things with that. They removed her heart, and they even tried to cure Edwin by burning her heart and actually having him ingest, some of the ashes. It's really, really fascinating and really, really, really macabre. But again, like these local legends are very fascinating, and there's a bunch of other ones that I didn't even know. Haunted places. Let's see. I'll just kind of list some of them, and that's just here. Like I say, you can check out your local bookstore and see if there's any for your local. Because I'm sure, depending on where you live, there's always local like local legends. Yeah, there's a bunch. The Dead Shall Rise is one. The Wandering Soldiers, that's another one. Spooky Secrets of some of the local colleges and universities. Hell at Portsmouth Poor Farm, that's another one. Rhode Island has a ghost town, which is something I want to explore. It's very, very, very interesting. But I figure that as part of my preparation for Samhain, for Halloween, let's talk a little bit about that. Pretty cool stuff. Let's go to the comments. Yeah, so Leanne says we have Edmonton ghost tours here. Yeah, they do. They, up in Providence, they do the Providence ghost tours. And one cool tidbit is that Edgar Allan Poe used to live in Providence up on the east side, and it's part of the ghost tour, where he wrote a lot of his, a lot of his crazy, a lot of his stuff. Well, let's see. Good morning. Sorry I've been distant. I've been working ridiculous hours. In fact, I'm heading to work now, but I had to stop in and say hi. Oh, yeah. I believe me, I feel that. Lucian's working now. I finally got a day off with no house stuff to do. And, it's just a quiet morning. I've got some stuff to do this afternoon. But yeah, I get it. Thanks for stopping by. And, hopefully when all this house stuff calms down, I want to get back on here regularly. So yeah, it is what it is, All right. So that's all I have. So we're going to go. This section will be called Chit and Chat. If any of you guys have any questions on any of the little things I touched on today, or questions about anything, we'll just have a little open Chit and Chat. So Leanne says, I need to get some RI tourist brochures so I can make vision boards. Oh, yeah, I can. I could try to dig some up and send them to you. We'll have to see if, or even, I don't know if you can get a copy of this book where you're at. It might even be on Amazon. But a lot of good stuff in there that you could use to make vision boards. A lot of ghost stuff in there that you can use for, fueling that Ouija board. But seriously, a lot of good stuff. So yeah, if there's anything, any questions, I'm just gonna kill some time as I go through some of these comments. Let's do another one. I am getting into junk journaling, and I want to do a Victorian murder mystery book and a book on the twisted history of my city. Oh, that is fascinating. Yes. Yeah, I used to write kind of scary short stories when I started in junior high. I had one of my short stories. What is that? It was Reader's Digest. Yeah, one of my teachers submitted one of my short stories, and it was actually printed in Reader's Digest. I wish I had a copy of it. I don't. It was like going back many, many moons ago. Yeah. So I can't wait to go to some of those places with you and Lucian. We're definitely going to be doing that. And I'll definitely be filming stuff. For those, I probably might do some pre-records. I don't do a lot of pre-records, but I might do some for some of these creepy places. Leanne has a question. What's your question, hon? Post your question. As we wait for a question, I'll just make music. Okay, when when we were discussing spinach from the Red Book, it says eat spinach with some seeds. And what for prosperity? I thought let's pop in and look at that spinach. I thought it was fennel, but let's see. Yeah, we'll look that up. Okay, magical for spinach. Steam spinach and eat as part of prosperity diets. Flavor with some seeds. Oh no, where the hell did I get fennel from? Flavor with some seeds or nutmeg for added power. So it doesn't really specify seeds. So I guess you could use any kind of seeds, but nutmeg is kind of the big one that they said. So it just says flavor with some seeds. Yeah, I didn't say which seeds. Second question. Our move date. We get the keys to the new house on September 22nd. And we are counting the days. We are counting the days. Just so we can start getting our stuff out of storage, and especially some of our witchy stuff, which is packed away. It's coming. Let me see. Today's the 24th, so it's less than 2 months. Isn't that exciting? Less than 2 months. Yes, less than 2 months. September 22nd. It is the move-in date. And then, we're going to have to do a house tour. And there's so much. We just found out because we had to stop by to visit the people that were there just because they're letting us store some stuff in the garage because our storage thing is full. But there's an outdoor cement fire pit in the ground, which I didn't see because there was snow on the ground when we viewed the house. So that's exciting. Some rituals and stuff. It's going to be fun times. Any other questions? We're hitting the hour mark, and I'm probably going to... I totally can't wait to see... Love that fireplace. I cannot wait. I'm not a winter guy, and I say this all the time. And I know Lucian is, getting giddy over this, but this is the first, because of that fireplace. This is going to be the first winter that I'm looking forward to. Like, I love summer, and as soon as I'm done with this live, I'm going to take my walk and all, but I am looking forward to using that fireplace in winter. I'm looking forward to Yule. Because we can do the burning of the Yule log right in that fireplace and actually do a real Yule log ceremony. Lots of plans, lots of things going on in this melon that I am looking so forward to. October says that fireplace is gorgeous. Yeah, it's when I saw it. So there's a story behind this fireplace. So Lucian's parents, they were completely instrumental in this whole house upgrade project. It wouldn't even be happening if it wasn't for them, for all types of support, And one of those things is mom's sense of like decorating styles. She's great at, decorating houses. If you've ever seen any of their houses, they're absolutely gorgeous. Well, they were helping us find houses to look at. First of all, they got us convinced to do this whole thing. And I was a little bit, because it's such a big, one, I'm going to miss Hagrid's house. I'm going to miss this house. I've been here for, my God, over 10 years. And Leanne, I see your question. I'm going to get to the questions shortly, but I got to do my spiel. So I've been in this house for over 10 years. I love this house. But sometimes you need to upgrade. And I was a little hesitant at first, but as we're talking and talking, and they basically convinced us, like, look, let's do this. Then we started looking for houses, and we looked at a couple that were nice, and we even tried to bid on one, and we got outbid. We didn't win the bid. And then Lucian's mom, because we were also talking about, well, what are we looking for in a house? And one of the things, the first thing I said, because Lucian says, I want a witchy space, or as he put it to his mom, like a craft space, a space to do, some of the crafts, because he does a lot of the craft stuff. And my answer was, I would love a place with a wood stove or a fireplace. So then a day later, Lucian's mom came across this house. And when I saw it, I was like, I just have to have this. I was like, oh my God. And I'll see if I can show you a picture, but let's go to the thing. This is the picture of the formal There's 2 living rooms. But that's the fireplace. And I was like, oh my God, I've got to go see this. My God, I'm so wobbly. I wish I could hold things steady. I'm probably making you all seasick. But that's the fireplace. And, I was like, oh my God, I've got to. This is where I see myself living. So yeah, we went to see it. And then in person, you can see it in a picture, and then you see it in person, and you touch it, and it was like, oh my God. So we saw it, we put in a bid on it, and then it was like pins and needles, and we ended up winning the bid. There was a rent back agreement. That's why it's taken so long. And that's just because here in Rhode Island, I think everywhere across the country, housing is so tough. Houses are in demand. It's definitely a seller's market. But we ended up winning. And we had a really good real estate agent. Her name was Mala. What a great asset, that we had. And, and that was it. It was just, now I'm just looking forward to that fireplace. I could flip through a few of the pictures if you guys are interested. So that's kind of what the outside in the front looks like. All right, let me see. There's another shot. So it's definitely it's a nice house. It's got a good sized yard. Oddly enough, Lucian calls that the sacrificial rock. That's Lucian's sacrificial rock. That's the fireplace. I showed that. This is the kitchen. Oh, the wizard's going to be in the kitchen. Let me tell you, I'll be doing lots of wizard in the kitchen shows from there. Another look at the kitchen. And this is the dining room looking into the informal living room, which is down the end. That's going to be our big TV room. Here's another shot of that fireplace. So we'll definitely be doing a Yule log burning ceremony in this fireplace. Let me tell you, come Yule. This is where my office will be for my working from home. And this is just the back. So it was snow covered. So out there is a fire pit, which is going to be a lot of fun. And actually, I can't believe you are going to live in a show house in Unreal. It really, yeah, I can't believe it either. And like I said, I'll tell you, if it wasn't for Lucian's, if it wasn't for Lucian's mom and dad, this dream would not be happening. So, I just thank. I send out all of that energy, thankness. It's just so, ah. So there was a question. Let me go back. Leanne had a question. Da, 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 da. So, question: do you and your husband have the same decorating tastes? That is a really good question. And we've talked about that because in some cases, yes. In some cases, no. And in a lot of cases, we're actually deferring to mom and dad because they have such great decorating tastes. What we have in common, decorating wise, is our altars tend to be really cluttered. And you saw what this house looked like when Lucian was in his prime. There was stuff everywhere. And like that's the only I'm more simple. I have one altar, but it's usually packed with stuff. So the good thing with this house is that it also has a big garage, which the previous owners didn't park cars in. They actually were painters, and they used it as an art studio. So it's a great space for a witchy lair, and that's where altars and all that stuff will go, and just the whole freedom of just witching the whole place out with stuff everywhere, just looking really witchy. And on the same token, we'll keep the rest of the house more tastefully, not tasteful, not that witchy stuff's not tasteful, but a lot more modern looking and neat and clean, for, entertaining people and stuff like that. It is such a perfect fit. And one other thing, one other cool thing. Let me find it, see if I can see it. I know one picture. So there's one weird thing about this house. If you look over there, there's like a bulkhead, right? That goes into a basement that you can't get to from the inside of the house. It's literally that bulkhead is the only way to get in, and it's a cool storage space. But I'm taking part of it, and I'm going to make a wine cellar because I've always wanted a wine cellar. I've always wanted to say, if I'm entertaining people in the house, let me go to the wine cellar and get some wine. It's just a bulkhead storage, but I'm going to turn it into a wine cellar. Let's see. Leanne says, my witch house would be like that too. Not completely witchy. I want a farmhouse kitchen. Yeah, that sink, I guess it's called, and I've never seen a sink like this before. I forgot who mentioned this. I think it was October. And she was like, I love that farmer's sink. So I guess that's called a farmer's sink. It's really nice. And it's got a garbage disposal in there. You can grind up your and the stuff. What the hell? I like the idea of an LSD trip room. I got to think of a place, and I don't know. I might convince Lucian to carve out a little section in the lair. But I want, or maybe even in the bunker, to make a ganja room. Like I'm sure Lucian's going to be smoking. Yeah, we're going to do that. Yeah, we'll do that in the lair. I'm sure that's where Lucian's going to be smoking the hookah, and I'll be, partaking in the devil's lettuce, as they say. But yeah, an LSD trip room, that would be something. You'll have to tell me if it's hard to clean. Yeah, well, see, that's the thing. That's the thing with a witchy house. I love the coziness of it, but as you put more stuff, it makes it hard to clean. So that's where we're gonna put a lot of that in the for all the witchy stuff kind of in the garage, and we'll have a little here and there in the rest of the house because it's got to feel like home. But cleaning, who likes to clean? I so even in this house, let me introduce you to Betty. Do you see Betty over there? Betty is my Roomba. That's Betty. And Betty keeps the floors nice and clean for me. So we'll be employing a few Bettys and, Betty, Martha, and whoever the hell to keep the floors clean because they're all nice hardwood floors and no rugs. So Roombas work great on this flooring. I mean, it keeps it really clean, especially with two cats. When you have pets, you always get those like tumbleweed hairballs, which I can't stand. You sweep it up, it sticks to the broom. It makes me like literally want to shoot myself because like I'm sweeping and then you're trying to get into the dustbin and the fur ball is sticking to the broom and then I step on it to try to remove it from the broom and it's stuck to my shoe and I'm like, you're gonna be kidding me. Get a Roomba, no more pet hair. It goes and it just sucks up all the pet hair. And it gets, as far as getting the crumbs, I honestly say this model here, it's actually the i6 Plus, but it's the same as the i7. i6 Plus was a Costco exclusive, I think. And I ended up getting, or an Amazon exclusive, or something like that. They just rebrand and change the number around a little bit, but it's basically the Roomba i7 with the self-emptying station thing. So like if you scoot back over there, that box that's above it is actually like another vacuum cleaner that sucks this. It basically empties the Roomba. So this thing is completely independent. It's on a schedule. Every morning at 5:30, it goes around and it vacuums and bangs around the house, wakes us both up, and goes back over the thing, sucks the thing out, and there's a light on there that'll turn red when the bag gets full. Cool stuff, and it works fantastic on pet hair. Because I'll tell you, the pet hair, it's a nightmare. Hey, that's a rhyme. The pet hair is a nightmare. All right, guys. I think if no more questions, if no more chit-chat stuff, no more pictures that I can show you. Oh, that's our patio. You can't tell much, but we're gonna do some cookouts there, baby. Oh, look at that! My phone. Let me see if I can do that again. It was. Wow, it looked like something there was flashing. Let's do this again. My phone freaked me out. I'm gonna go back and look at the video. But yeah, and this is it from the back. But yeah. October. Yeah, we're wrapping up here too. I'm gonna go get a walk. Yeah, I don't think the website showed the backyard. No, I think I took a lot of this, some of these pictures, and some of it was on the thing. But yeah, it was all snow covered. Oh, I wonder if that's an omen. Are we gonna move here and get a lot of snow? That's right. I got a snow blower. Oh, Lucian, go shovel the driveway. I work from home, so I don't have to leave. I'll be like, snowed out. Right. The snow doesn't get in my way when I'm walking from the bedroom to the old home office. So the car's just gonna stay there with the snow on it. Oh, anyways. By October. All right, we're gonna wrap up here. It was a nice, quick show. Like I said, we're in the home stretch. We're going to be doing these more often, especially once we get moved into the new place. We do have, I think on Monday night, another crystal sale coming up. So keep your eyes out for that. And yeah, who knows what else is coming. Is it lonely working from home? Oh, here's a question. Not really. Just because my company uses Microsoft Teams, and we really use it to the fullest. So we have IM, we call and talk to each other. So we're really within reach of each other, even though we're remote. I'll tell you what was lonely. So the rest of my team, for a time, was actually based out of Nevada. So different time zones and, a real physical difference. That tended to make it a little bit lonely. Just because, I'm starting at like 7:30 a.m. here, they're still in bed, and I wrap my day up, they're still on, they finish their day. So it does tend to make the mornings lonely, but I have a local coworker that works out of my office. So now, we'll just kind of chat back and forth and talk and get caught up and share ideas and stuff like that until the West Coast guys get on, and it makes it a lot less lonely. I just tried Teams the other day. It's a great tool, provided your company implements it properly. We do everything through Teams, even our desk phone numbers. We got rid of all of our physical phones, and it's all through Teams. And I got it on this phone. So if I get a call at my desk, it rings here or on my PC. Really, really good. The video capabilities are great. No one ever wants to turn their camera on. But yeah, that capability's there. We have a lot of, company-wide meetings where they'll have the cameras and we'll do the video stuff every so often. But it's a really cool thing. Yep. It's some fun stuff. It takes getting used to. I'll tell you. And what's funny is my company, the office, is literally like, a 2-minute drive. But what my company learned is that there's no need to work in the office. So even after COVID gets out of here, our new working pattern is going to be a couple days in the office and the rest of the week, from home. So that would be good. There'll be like 2 days in the office and then the rest working from home. But anyways, that's all that. Guys, I want to thank you for joining. We're going to wrap up. And I hope to be doing, ramping up, doing more of these SaturDave's. I don't know what Lucian's schedule is, but I may see about, doing one of these next weekend and just to start getting them going again. And I don't know what we got going on this week. We have the crystal sale, but I'm trying to get back into the mode of doing Wednesday night readings. I wish I had my other cameras and stuff. But anyways, we're going to just keep playing it by ear. But I'll tell you, once we get moved into the new place, all the lives are going to come back with a vengeance. And on that note, thank you guys for joining me. And until next time, I will see you guys at Monday night for the Crystal Show. And who knows, maybe we'll do Wednesday night readings. No promises, but I think I'm going to. I think I want to. So keep an eye out on the Facebook group as we post all of our announcements there. And that's it. I'm babbling now. So guys, have a great rest of your weekend. Love each other, love and light for everyone, and don't do anything the Wiz wouldn't do. Well, wait a minute. Don't do anything the Wiz would do. Yeah, that's probably more accurate. I love you guys. Bye.